Okay, we're recording, and I'm going to stand up and turn around.
Okay.
It's recording. Okay, and the camera person is here.
Okay.
All right.
We're all centered?
Yes,
Okay.
we're lovely.
Many of you may know this person. This is Heath Ledger, famous actor. He died of complications from a combination of prescription drugs. Each individual drug was not harmful, and they were prescribed. He wasn't taking anything too strong, but the combination is what killed him. When he died, his father was quoted by BBC. The father said, "While no medication were taken in excess, we learned today the combination of doctor-prescribed drugs proved lethal for our boy. His accidental death serves as a caution to the hidden dangers of combining prescription medications, even at low dosage." Now this highlights how medications can be complicated, and many have different interactions, and they have different cautionary notes that are on them. Many of them are easy to understand, such as take on an empty stomach, take once daily, keep refrigerated, things like that, easy to understand. Some things are not so much easy understood or complied with, partially because of it, people not getting the right information, and partly because some people just brush it off, not really understanding the severity. One such thing is grapefruit. WebMD says grapefruit blocks a specific enzyme in the intestine. This enzyme protects the body from medicines absorbing too much, getting absorbed too much. Without this enzyme, medications will be absorbed much more swiftly and in greater amounts. This leads to an overdose. So even though you're taking the correct prescribed medication, your doctor thinks or your pharmacist thinks, once you take the grape juice, then all of a sudden you're taking the equivalent of 2, sometimes 3 times the dose, and this can cause an overdose. Now, Global RPH, which is a reference site we use at the hospital, they cite several common side effects when mixing medications in grapefruit. These are excess sedation, risk of the breakdown of the muscle tissue, especially in the kidneys, hypotension, low blood pressure, and irregular heartbeat. Grapefruit, if it says do not eat grapefruit with grapefruit, this is very strongly advised. If you have questions, you can ask your pharmacist or your doctor for more specifics. Another medication warning that is not so understood is avoid excess sun. There are several medications that alter the minerals and vitamins that are in your skin, which these minerals and vitamins protect your skin from UV radiation, and without them, you're at greater risk for cancers and skin damage than you would otherwise. You get burns much easier. And so when you are taking these medications, you need to make sure to go outside with proper sunblock and to take precautionary measures, more so than you would normally, and keep abreast of rashes, and if things develop, see a doctor immediately. Final one is alcohol. Now, the previous 2 medication warnings, they have relatively few interactions with relatively few drugs, though they can be serious. But alcohol has a wide spectrum of interactions with a wide spectrum of drugs. And unfortunately, it also is a prevalent drug that people partake in. Now, there are very common drugs that people take every day that have serious interactions with alcohol. A lot of people don't even think. WebMD cites these drugs such as Tylenol, which can cause liver damage. They can cause heart problems, internal bleeding, impaired breathing, serious side effects. Alcohol can also affect herbal supplements that you might be taking. The National Institute of Health says that things such as chamomile, echinacea, and lavender can increase liver damage and sedation and other systemic effects, and that's just an herbal supplement, and so you need to be aware of that. The best, I have given a handout on common medications that cause serious side effects when taken with alcohol. As you notice, there are quite a few. It would be more advisable if people just didn't drink alcohol at all, though people usually do not heed that, and unfortunately we have a great population of people who do drink alcohol. So we need more information. We need to give more information to more people on, if you're taking this, really do not take alcohol and why. So, in short, all the medication warnings have a purpose. Even if something might seem a little silly or you don't understand it, take heed to it. If you really want to understand better, check WebMD or ask a pharmacist or your doctor. Thank you. Okay, Q&A.
Well, I was surprised to see Tylenol on the list with alcohol, because that's such a common medication. So what are some of the complications that Tylenol and alcohol interaction?
Well, Tylenol is tricky because Tylenol is actually relatively safe. It only has one adverse effect, which is in large doses, it can damage your liver, which is why it is so common and widespread. However, alcohol actually increases how the body intakes Tylenol, and so this acts like an overdose with Tylenol. And alcohol also damages the liver by itself, so you're getting the liver damage from the alcohol, and you're also getting it from the too much Tylenol. Alcohol's funny like that.
So, what other drugs can interact, or even herbs can interact to cause harmful effects?
Well, there's a lot of different drugs. With Heath Ledger, he was taking several different medications that several of them overlapped in how they work. And so when you're getting multiple drugs that do the same thing, these can cause an overdose. Even if they are different drugs, they're doing practically the same thing. He was taking several pain medications, a couple of sedation pills, and all that combined together created a combined effect. And as far as herbal supplements, most of the meds we get are from extracting from natural resources like plants, and a lot of these herbs have several chemicals that we extract. And so if we have the concentrated version, like in the medication, and then we have the natural occurring version, such as in the plant, you're getting the overdose and overlapping as well. Also, thing with herbs is that it doesn't have just one chemical; it has a bunch of chemicals in it. That's part of its nature. And so there could be, you could be taking it for reason A, but there could be a second chemical in there that actually interacts or overlaps with something else you're taking.
Have they been factoring herbal supplements into the overdosage lately?
Well, it's only been in the last 5 years that doctors have been really taking note of it. It used to be just brushed off as unimportant. Now the FDA is cracking down much harder on understanding herbal supplements and their interactions.
I take multivitamins, and I was reading the label, and it says talk to a doctor if you're taking any other medications. What would a multivitamin cause if you're...
Well, the problem with multiple vitamins is that because many of your vitamins are water soluble, which flush through the system and you can't overdose, but there are also many vitamins that are fat soluble, which reside in the fat tissue in your body, and these you can overdose, and they stay in your tissues for a long time. So it's very easy for it to accumulate. You might not necessarily take too much of it one day, but over a period of several weeks, you will eventually create enough in your body that it will create an overdose. And because there are vitamins in many different medications, if you're taking a multivitamin, your doctor will want to know if there's any overlap with those vitamins. So they might suggest like a different multivitamin, like say if you're taking prescribed medication that has vitamin D in it, which is common, they'll want you to take a multivitamin that doesn't have vitamin D, so you do not overdose on vitamin